Hello, I am Dr. K. Paul Stoller. In modern relationship advice, one phrase appears everywhere: emotional safety. But what does that actually mean? Where does emotional safety come from? And what happens when biology interferes with it? Many men hear this phrase and feel confused. From their perspective, they may be loving partners, supportive, loyal, responsible, and yet intimacy slowly disappears. When they ask why, they often hear the same explanation: lack of emotional safety, but that phrase is rarely explained beyond that. So couples are left with a painful mystery. One person feels emotionally unsafe. The other feels blamed for something they don't understand. Consider a story that many people quietly recognize. A couple builds a life together. They love each other. They raise children. Years pass. Then suddenly the relationship feels different. The woman begins feeling restless, disconnected. Something about the relationship feels wrong. The husband is confused. From his perspective, nothing dramatic has changed, and yet the emotional distance keeps growing. Eventually, the relationship collapses. Both partners walk away wondering the same thing. What actually happened? What actually happened? To understand this dynamic, we need to understand something important. Emotional safety is not just a psychological idea. It's a biological state of the nervous system. When someone feels emotionally safe, their brain shifts into a calm, connected mode. In this state, people feel relaxed, bonded, open to intimacy. But when the nervous system detects stress or instability, the brain shifts into defensive mode. And when that happens, desire is often the first thing to disappear. One of the key hormones involved in bonding is oxytocin. Oxytocin helps create feelings of trust, connection, and emotional warmth. But oxytocin signaling can be affected by many factors: stress, sleep deprivation, trauma, hormonal fluctuations. When oxytocin signaling is low, the brain may interpret the world as less safe, even if the relationship itself hasn't changed. Hormones influence far more than physical health. They influence perception. Across the menstrual cycle, hormone levels rise and fall. Later in life, during perimenopause, hormone fluctuations can become even more dramatic. These shifts can influence mood, stress sensitivity, emotional interpretation. For some women, this may amplify feelings like dissatisfaction, insecurity, and restlessness in relationships. Those feelings are real, but they may also be biologically intensified. Here's the part that almost no one talks about. Emotional safety is usually framed as something a partner must provide. If a woman feels emotionally unsafe, the assumption is that the relationship is failing. But what if emotional safety isn't only created by a partner? What if it's also generated by the brain and body themselves? Because emotional safety is fundamentally a nervous system state. And nervous systems are heavily influenced by biology: hormones, sleep, stress, nutrition, age. If those systems shift, someone may feel emotionally unsafe even in a stable relationship. That doesn't mean the feelings are imaginary, but it does mean the source of the feeling may not be what we assume. When emotional safety disappears, the distress is often directed at the closest person, the partner. From the partner's perspective, the criticism feels personal. From the other person's perspective, the emotional discomfort feels completely real. This is why relationships sometimes collapse without either partner understanding what went wrong. Both people are reacting to something, but neither understands the underlying cause. Human relationships exist at the intersection of three powerful forces: biology, psychology, and life experience. Major transitions, parenthood, midlife reflection, hormonal changes can shift how people experience their relationships. Yet relationship advice often focuses only on psychology. The biological dimension is rarely discussed. Understanding the biological dimension doesn't mean dismissing emotional experiences. It means expanding the conversation. Instead of asking, "Who is at fault?" couples can ask different questions. Are stress levels overwhelming the nervous system? Are hormonal shifts affecting mood and perception? Are biological factors amplifying emotional reactions? Those questions shift the dynamic from blame to understanding. Maybe emotional safety isn't something one partner simply gives the other. Maybe it's something that emerges when biology, psychology, and the relationship itself are working together. And when one of those systems goes out of balance, the relationship can suddenly feel unsafe, even when nothing obvious has changed. Understanding that possibility may be one of the most important steps in protecting long-term relationships. Do you think emotional safety is mainly created by the relationship, or influenced just as much, if not more, by biology? Let me know your thoughts in the comments.